Hello, Facebook Ads people. I'm Konstantinos, and this is the Facebook Ads Breaking News Podcast. Hi, guys. So, another podcast. Let's talk a little bit about what happened on the previous month because now it's over. So, first of all, for smaller accounts, it was a little bit difficult. We had some problems, especially for other accounts that they have new pixels. But I can tell you that for bigger accounts that they have trained pixels, I was also able to scale them. Um, the the thing is that I'm going to prepare some case studies for the next weeks, and I'm going to try to publish them in time. Easter is coming here in Greece, Greek Orthodox Easter. So maybe the next week I'm not going to do a podcast, but we will see. I will try to. And I guess that's all. This week, the weekend was very bad, even for trained ad accounts, but now I feel like we are doing much better during the week. Uh, just so that we can clear this up, when we have this kind of periods that we have bad results, most of the times it's because a lot of people see good results. Like in February, they go immediately, everybody starts to advertise on the platform, so the CPMs are rising, results are bad, only the good pixels and the good ad accounts that they are super competitive, they have better results, and it makes sense. The other ones that they're just in the verge of being profitable or having some good results, they can have one good month, one bad month, and it really matters how many people they're actually advertising. So now that the people that they started advertising, they're going to be disappointed that they will stop advertising, and then we can see that maybe we'll have another good month and so on. Now, let's discuss a little bit. I have a comment over here from a guy. His name is Tim Zegering. It says, Konstantinos, your advice your advice with worth its weight in gold. I hope my advice would weight my weight in gold, because it would be 120 kilograms of gold, and I would be very rich. You say here, the Advantage Plus crazy method campaigns are crushing it for us right now. What's your method to ensure the conversion API is tracking correctly? We're using ClickFunnels plus AnyTrack, but it's too leaky at the moment. Thanks a lot, appreciated. Kind regards, team. So first of all, about the second track of the question about ClickFunnels and AnyTrack, we have a very good interview with Scott de Corselier, which is the guy from the CEO, not the guy, the CEO from Wicked Reports. And over there, we're analyzing. I also have videos about Hyros and other programs and what I believe about them. You can go, you can check it. I don't want to go into great extent about it into this podcast, and we have also analyzed it in another podcast, I believe, in extent. So you can watch all of these and understand my opinion about it. Just in few plain words, I don't believe that they are helping, because you should watch the data inside the platform and optimize with this data instead of gambling with data that Facebook cannot see in order to optimize towards them. Now, the reason that I'm putting this comment is because of the Advantage Plus crazy method. We have analyzed several times what is the crazy method. Sadly, guys, if we analyze every time the crazy method in every podcast, is going to be very boring. You can watch what is my crazy method. Again, in a very short term, is when you run exactly the same ad in Advantage Plus, or exactly the same ad set with the same ads, the same creatives, duplicated several times in a CBO campaign. This is a crazy method. When you use exactly the same setting, ad set and ad, or in Advantage Plus, just exactly the same ad, and you are duplicating several times so that you can target a lot of different hot pockets inside a very huge audience that you wouldn't have the chance of doing it in another way. You can check my video about the crazy method so that you can see also live examples there. Now, the thing that I wanted to discuss today is the Advantage Plus and the crazy method, because the whole idea about the crazy method came from the fact that you can actually target more hot pockets in a very broad audience, because I was observing that when I was doing just one ad set with an audience of 20 million people, it would take me an enormous amount of time and money in order to target all of these people of the audience, even when it was working. So my thought was, what if I duplicate it several times and then give it more budget so that it can spend more in this audience? I was watching that when I was just giving more budget to this single ad set, it wasn't working as well as it was working when I was duplicating it several times and giving the budget like this to more ad sets, which actually lead me to the idea that it's creating different hot pockets, and this is why it's working better. Now, as I said, the crazy method, the videos are there, you can go watch it and you can understand how it's working. The big question here is, it's in my nature, first of all, because the crazy method goes with everything, to whatever I see working, to do it with crazy method. The same thing is happening with stacked lookalikes. What is stacked lookalikes? When you use in an ad set 10% lookalikes of purchase, add to cart, initiate checkout, and all of the other ones, and you stack them together in an ad set instead of using just one, and then you duplicate this ad set several times and you run it in a CBO. This is crazy method, stacked lookalikes. And then broad targeting. So I was doing broad targeting, crazy method, an ad set with broad targeting and demographics or men or women or specific ages based on what we see on the breakdown of results. And then you duplicate it several times and you run in a CBO. But then when the Advantage Plus came, it has just only one ad set. So I said, damn, Facebook has actually made it and I cannot use my crazy method here because I cannot duplicate inside the Advantage Plus several times the ad set in order to use it a lot of times. So I said, F it. I'm going to do it with the ad. So if the ad is working, I'm going to duplicate the ad several times. Now, well, I'm thinking on my own here, but I have never seen someone actually asking this. But I was thinking the other day, if the optimization is happening on the ad set level, and guys, the people that, because I created the YouTube channel because I wanted to give some extra information and more advanced information instead of beginning videos. So if we have here advanced people, I would like to know also your opinion, because still I haven't cracked the code about it. So the thing here is this. If the optimization, and let me know in the comments, if the optimization is happening on the ad set level, okay? The crazy method is working because on the ad set level, when we duplicate several ad sets, then we're targeting different hot pockets because the targeting is there. So it's going to find the different hot pockets within the ad set. The targeting in the Advantage Plus is also on the ad set level. So if I cannot do it there, why, when I'm optimizing and I'm having exactly the same ad, by the way of thinking when I did it, it was just YOLO. Let's do it. Let me duplicate the ad several times to see how it's working. And it was working the same way like a crazy method optimization, where you were having exactly the same ad set, but you were having different results, different KPIs, different return on ad spend. The same happened with the ads I was having. So I started thinking, okay, it's creating different hot pockets for the different ads. But why? Is Advantage Plus does it have a different way of settings comparing to a normal campaign, which is CBO or ABO, with the ad set optimizing in the ad set level instead of the ad level? Are the normal campaigns also creating hot pockets in the ad level? So I haven't cracked the code yet on this. I'm thinking it all the time and I don't understand why. And sometimes, the routine of doing ads again and again and again, it's sucking you and you're just saying, okay, it's working. But I'm not okay with that. I want to understand why it's working like this. It's a very easy explanation to say that, okay, Facebook has done it in a different way, so it's optimizing in the ad level for the different hot pockets. Okay, very easy explanation. But maybe some of you have different ideas. Just to recap, when we do the crazy method with CBO campaigns, we have a lot of ad sets which are exactly the same with same ads. And this is why they're forming and they're targeting different hot pockets because we target exactly the same people, and the optimization is happening on the ad set level because this is where our targeting is. Now, unless if the optimization is happening on the ad level and not on the ad set level, it doesn't make any sense when we do one ad set in the Advantage Plus and several ads, which are exactly the same, identical, exactly the same, not identical. Then why do we have different results on the different ads when we use Advantage Plus Crazy method? Obviously it's working. I didn't expect Tim to tell me if it's working or not. Before I make a video and I propose something, I have seen it working at least in 2 or 3 or 4 accounts. With the exception of manual bidding, which sometimes I will tell you it's working if I see it in 1 or 2 accounts because it's not working in several. But over here, the way that I think of it, I'm thinking that maybe we have 2 solutions. 3. Either the Advantage Plus is built in another different way and it's optimizing on the ad level, or all these years I was thinking that the optimization was happening on the ad set level, but it's happening on the ad set and on the ad level, or only on the ad level, forming the different hot pockets there, which could also work for CBO crazy method if they are making on the ad level the hot pockets. Or there's another third thing that we don't even know about. Okay, so this is why I wanted to do this video. Of course, to tell you to use it because it's working. Obviously, it's working, and it's not the only comment. There are several people that they say that it's working, but also to let you know that I don't know why the it's working. Okay, and I cannot understand it completely yet. And I know that we just make speculations about these things, but anyway. So let me know in the comments if you have any ideas, even if they are crazy ideas. Now, I have created a new video about the Midjourney AI. Midjourney AI is one AI which is producing images, and I'm explaining it also there, but the whole idea is that I'm having some Airbnb properties and I wanted to create some paintings. So the thing that I have done is that first I went to ChatGPT, I wrote down how my space looks, and then I told ChatGPT to give me some proposals of what kind of paintings I could have there. Then ChatGPT gave me some proposals. Then I went to Midjourney AI, and then I created those. Then I found the ones that I like from the generation. Then I combined them because it has a blend option in there. You can see YouTube videos or you can wait for my video the next week so that you can see how it's working. And then I created some of those. I took them out. They were not in a good DPI so that they can be printed. So I took another AI to upscale them to a better quality and stuff with an enhancing and everything. It took me a lot of hours of doing that. But then I started thinking, how can we actually use Midjourney if we want to do Facebook advertisement? And I said, okay, let's say that you have a Greek taverna, for example, or a restaurant, and you can type to Midjourney AI to give you some images of different food and stuff so that you can put them on your catalog and stuff instead of just cooking everything and just taking pictures, which we know that's an issue. It can give you content for your social media so that you can upload it. And then I was seeing that it was making all of the images a little bit on a cartoon style. So if you watch the video, you will see that I have some settings for specific cameras that they make the pictures look like real, even when we talk about humans. I have seen a lot of issues with hands and toes. Sometimes it's getting them as alien hands. Sometimes it's getting them with 3 fingers, 4 fingers. So it's not perfect yet. But it's actually a very nice tool to play, and you will have to start thinking of ways of using it. I think that local businesses can actually use it in that way. And I guess wait for my video next week so that you can see how it's working. If you want to play on your own or watch other videos on YouTube, I think that this is something that you should do. Now, let's go to something that came to my mail. It says, "Hi Konstantinos, the research team for small and medium business at Meta run studies to better understand how business use the Meta platform with an end goal of developing case studies and best practices to help businesses run successful advertisement campaigns. We are looking for advertisers to participate in a remote ad test with the goal to understand the performance of purchase-focused meta campaigns comparing catalog ads versus static ads. If you are interested in participating, please apply below by filling out a survey. And they have a survey and they say, selected participants who fulfill all requirements of the test will receive up to $10,000 in ad credits to fully cover the cost of the ads created for this study and $50 meta ad credits as a bonus for participation. Please note that there is limited number and stuff. So I guess this is something that is coming out of the blue, and they are proposing to advertisers a 10,000 credit. As I told you earlier, I'm going to tell you about all the credits that I learn about, because maybe you can reach to one of your Facebook reps and they can actually help you with that so that you can get also the credit. Maybe you're going to be one of the limited spots over here. So if you talk with your Facebook rep soon, talk to them about that. Maybe they can find you a spot. Now, there is a new message coming to one of my ad accounts. I don't think that it influenced me because I never advertise to people below 18 years old, but still it's some news about, and we are called Breaking News Facebook Ads podcast. So about advertising to teens. Again, I have 0 accounts to that category. Starting on February 20, 2023, some targeting and campaign options will no longer be available when you create ads that include people under the age of 18, under 20 in Thailand and under 21 in Indonesia in your desired audience. These changes are part of our overall efforts to strengthen the privacy and safety of teens across our platform. If you're currently running campaigns that use any of these affected options, we recommend that you update your ad sets before April 7, 2023 to prevent them from being paused or automatically adjusted to target adults only. To continue to reach teens, you can target by age and broad location and use allowed campaign options. And then it has again that the context teens refers to people 13 to 17 in most countries, 13 to 19 in Thailand, 13 to 20 in Indonesia. If you are having advertisements to these ages, this is something that you should look. Yeah, I know that it says February 20, but this is when this message came to this ad account. Of course, we never use 13 to 18, but still, I guess it's not breaking news. It's just news. Now, let's go to the next question. We have my friend here, Zen Life Products. He says, are you noticing a significant decrease in ROAS in March? And for me, the decrease has been really significant. My cost per conversion are way up and my CPMs are going way up too. Any thoughts on this, why this is happening? And most probably because I see his next message over here, I think I told him, dude, haven't you seen any of the podcasts? I'm saying this for the whole past podcasts that this is happening. And then he says, considering this, I thought I heard you say that in one of your videos, not in one, in several, but I wanted to double check. This is what I heard about Facebook. They are constantly changing, so nothing works for any extended period of time. I disagree with that. There are accounts that are working for a long periods. My CTRs are still really great, but my conversions are way down in March. I guess you have to see the start of this video, this podcast, on what I said, that I believe that when a lot of people are going to go out of the game, then it's going to stabilize again. Sorry man, I try to watch a lot of your videos, but some are long, so I lose focus and miss some things. Haha, love your content though, bro. It's honestly real. Thank you very much. And I know that it's too much content. I was just joking, okay? It's just to clear it out. I don't expect from all of you to just watch every week, I guess, 2-3 hours of me talking. I think you have better things to do. Now, let's go to the next one. Great video. I have a quick question related to automatic placements. I've launched my first campaign using automatic placements, and when I break it down, it seems like the best placements is still Facebook feed, lower CPC, lower CPP, lower CPMs, etc. So logically, I've tried duplicating the campaign using Facebook feeds only, and the results just dip down. High CPM, high CPC, CPP, etc. Cost per purchase, he means. What you comment a bit on this? Is it a flash or it's Meta pushing all advertisers to use automatic placements by giving them better results? Okay, so for the people that they have been to this channel since the beginning, one of my first videos, it was about automatic placements and why I believe that Facebook is stealing a little bit of its advertisers' budget by using automatic placements. What is my way of thinking? First of all, back in the days when we had the breakdown of results, then they stopped and now they are also back. We could see that when you break down the results, and of course now that the breakdown of results is back, there are more people that are just going to start realizing that Facebook is doing that. We could see that you break down the results and then what do you observe? You observe immediately that the sales that you are having, back in the day it was Facebook feed, Instagram feed, Facebook stories, Instagram stories. And then we have the Reels that came now, and we have Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels also having some sales. And then maybe you would see super rarely one sale in Stream, one sale in Instagram Explorer, one sale in Facebook articles, something like that. In some placements, I have never seen a sale, even that. So I was starting saying that, why is Facebook pushing the automatic placements then? And then I thought that, well, for the money. Because if you take 30 cents, 20 cents of each one of the extra placements and you multiply this with all the ad sets, all the campaigns, all the ad accounts and all the businesses that exist there, the amount of money that they get out of that every month is an enormous amount of money. And of course, as we said, the algorithm is doing a management of advertisers so that it can give some percentage to you, some percentage to you, and all of that. So that being said, I truly believe this is the reason that it's also pushing it, okay? Because if they don't push automatic placements and they just tell to everybody just to use this for placements, they're losing all of this money. It's a lot of money, guys, that they're getting out of that. Now, second thing, after the breakdown of results, because before that I was using just Facebook feed, Instagram feed, these for placements, and after some point, I realized that it was becoming expensive. It wasn't like this in the past. In the past, you could run only the 4 and have better results. Now, what I realized is that, I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory, but I realized that when you don't run these placements, then you have a problem. You have much more expensive ads and maybe you're going to have less results, especially if you run only one platform like Facebook or Instagram. You might go and you break down the results and you see that you have 0 sales on Instagram and you want to run only on Facebook. And then you see that you're not getting the same results as automatic placements. So this is something that they have seen also. It's not a fluke. I believe that it's happening in purpose. And I believe that Facebook says, okay, and why do you care about? You're going to spend some money on the other placement, it's not going to work. And eventually it's going to work and have a good spend for the placements that you are actually using. So I started using also automatic placement. In some other accounts I didn't, especially new ad accounts, for sure. I was using automatic placements. And I said to myself this, as I said earlier, and a lot of times about these kind of things, the game is rigged. And sadly, Facebook is a dictatorship and we have to follow this dictatorship. So if Facebook wants us to spend like this in order to give us better results, fine, we're going to do it. What I'm really bothered about it is that they don't admit it. They can say, for example, in our faces that, look, we want you to spend on automatic placements, either use one valid reason, or tell us in our faces that we want that because we are losing money when you don't. Okay, so we're going to f up all of your results if you don't use automatic placements. The reason that I'm saying all that is not because I'm a renegade, which is not going to run ads with automatic placements. I'm going to use automatic placements because I want to have the best possible results. But what I really care about is to know that I'm doing this in purpose and I understand why Facebook is doing it, instead of thinking that Facebook has tricked me. Do you understand? Does this change the result? No. Facebook is still going to steal me some money. Okay? But at least I know it, Anyway. And now you also know it. Yeah, let's move on. It's something that I've been discussing for years, and I never understood. It's not that I never understood, I understand it, but I think it's a very huge issue that nobody is confronting Facebook about it. Now, we have Paolo Montano. Hello, Konstantinos. Have you ever used or heard of AnyTrack? Now AnyTrack is a new thing, okay? It's coming. Before we had Hyros, Wicked Reports, then Triple Well. Now I can see AnyTrack, more and more questions about AnyTrack. And if you have, what's your opinion on this software? To be honest with you, I haven't used AnyTrack. And as I said at the start of this one, I think that you should go and watch my podcast about these programs. I said earlier what I believe about these products. Yeah, at the start of the video, with the first comment that we had from Tim, I said what I believed about these programs and that I don't like to use them. Now, one other thing, this is another question. One other thing, not sure if my thinking is correct, but I'm sharing. The chances of our conversion rate to be higher than 0.5% is nearly zero. This is a high ticket item customer that I have. It was never higher in history. This means if CPC is $2, we pay $400 per customer. If CPC is $3, we pay $600 per customer. This is the best case scenario. It is not wise to look at the cost per landing page view and make sure it is under $3. Now, what is the biggest mistake that he's doing here? Especially in high ticket items, you might see that one of your ads is starting with $1, $2, $3, whatever. And maybe it's going to end up having $6, $7, $8. Why? Because Facebook is optimizing for the purchase. And maybe the cost per click, cost per landing page is going to become expensive because it's looking for specific people that they're willing to pay a lot of money, especially in high ticket items. Now, this can be a valid point if you do conversion ads, okay, not traffic ads in order to get very cheap traffic because this is junk traffic. But if you do conversion ads and you try to lower your cost per landing page for t-shirts and stuff, it makes sense. But if we talk about high ticket items, the more you are spending in a campaign which is optimizing for purchases, the more you might see the cost of click and CPC rising. It's the same thing that we observe in retargeting campaigns. You can see that the cost per click there, it's much higher, but we have much better quality of people there and it's converting better, it has better ROAS. So I think that this way of thinking is wrong. By just controlling the traffic, when you cannot control the quality of the traffic, you are not going to make better conversion rates, especially in high ticket items. We see on campaigns, by the way that they're optimizing for purchases, throughout the time when they get purchases and stuff, we see that the cost per click is rising because it's trying to find better quality people. Now, let's go to Tim here. Great tips again. What minimum CTR is your benchmark for broad CBO and Advantage Plus campaigns for products that they are lower than $50? Now, the CTR, and of course I'm going to talk about unique CTR here. The minimum that I would use is 1%, okay? Now, it's not a metric that I'm looking so much. I'm mostly looking cost per click and not CTR so much. Cost per unique click and not cost per click. Cost per unique click is something that they want to have, depending on the account also, below $2 and in several cases below $1 in conversion campaigns. The thing here is that CTR, I would say minimum 1%, but there are cases that you might see 6%, it is not going to be well. I guess that what you need to see here is to check the averages and try to understand if one of your creatives is doing better than the other. Now, we go here to Nikolai. He sent a message to my group. He says, "Hello group, how are you doing? I have some struggles with advertising pet lovers gifts. Can someone give some advice about advertising in this niche? Thanks, have a good day. Most probably he's a dropshipper, and this is the niche that most people pick as dropshippers. The way that he's writing, I understand that he doesn't know how to run Facebook ads most probably, which is good. Not good, which is fine. But let me tell you something about the people that you're writing comments on the group. I need to tell you that you cannot ask this kind of general questions. It's like he's asking, how can I run Facebook ads? I cannot answer this with a comment. My answer to him, it was, go watch all of my videos. Learn how to do Facebook ads in a better way. Because there's no way that I can answer this question with a proper way, I guess, okay? Yeah, that's it. Just so you know about whoever wants to make a question. Then we go to active digital marketing, the usual suspect here. What is your thought on using automated rules of a campaign for the weekend for clients who don't want to run campaigns Saturday and Sunday? I reply, I never use automated rules. If a client doesn't want what I tell them, I guess my English is bad here, that it is not correct and that I won't do it. If they don't like it, they can fire me. Simple as that. If there is a serious reason, then I would just relax every Monday until Friday. And he says, this strategy actually works on call campaigns, though in some accounts. And I told him that I won't disagree. Whatever it works, keep doing it. I just told you what I would do. I don't believe in automated rules. I'm thinking of, I think that I made a video. Yeah, I made a video recently about automated rules. I don't know when it's going to come live. The thing about automated rules is that when you use automated rules, there are specific periods that the other accounts are not going to do well. And with automated rules, maybe all of your campaigns are going to be shut down. Second thing, I was showing in this video that there was a certain period that the ads didn't do well in an ad account, but I know that this ad account is strong, so I was waiting there for 7 days, and the actual result of the whole month, it actually rewarded me because I had scaling, good ROAS, and I was also managed to set myself in a very good position for the next month. So with automated rules, most probably everything was going to be ruined. Another thing is that I don't believe that you should close your ads on specific days and then open them again. I don't believe, especially in ad accounts, that you're having a lot of different campaigns. Then I think it's a problematic situation because you're going to lose some of the campaigns if you do that all the time. For example, you're cutting the data for 2 days. Even if you have bad results, you're having some results. And I think that you should watch all of your ads in the course of 7 days and take the average instead of just evaluating them in a daily level. Because Facebook has fluctuations from time to time. Also, I don't believe in running ads with specific schedule, which is coming with lifetime budget, and cut them, for example, from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock and then starting all over again and running them with budget, because in my life I have seen only one account working very well with lifetime budgets. So this is my opinion. Then we go to Federico. Hello, since March 9th, I am running a $20 broad campaign in Japan. By the way, I have never advertised in Japan. I would love to advertise in Japan. I never had a client from there. Only Instagram, because on Facebook sales don't come. In some provinces where majority of sales come. Okay. Ads is ABO with 3 videos, and I think is going pretty well, considering the averaging selling price is 120, 140 euros. What do you think I should do next? Keep as it is, or taking video 3, which is, he sent it a print screen with that, which is pushed by Facebook and made most of the sales, and create another campaign with crazy method, like 2 or 3 copies with same $20 budget, or what else? Thanks. So first of all, I wouldn't do a crazy method with 20 euros only. What I would do is that I would duplicate exactly the same campaign and run it with another 20. Because over here you're not having a lot of budget so that you can do a whole campaign with crazy method broad targeting as you do here. So what you can do is leave this one so that you can have one working, duplicate it, run another one with 20, and see if you can do that. If you had $100, for example, I would run one crazy method with $100 and 4 ad sets, something like that. Now, let's go to the next question. By the way, the crazy method it's a scaling strategy and it needs some budget. You cannot just run it without budget. Konstantinos, thank you very much for your reply. This is interesting and definitely what I was expecting was happening. Related to the scaling technique you described in the video, what do you recommend when the performance with the initially strongest creatives begins to decline at the allocated budget? My first thought would be to increase budget so that the meta can expand the Advantage Plus audience in the declining campaign, but I'm more interested in trying your scaling method of setting up multiple separate Advantage Plus campaigns and giving the previously outperformed creatives to those. Is there any point, first of all, let me answer to that. When you're going to give more budget to an Advantage Plus campaign, it's going to try to expand the audience, which is not good because in the audience that is working right now, it's having sales. So when you give it more budget, it's going to try to expand it, which means that you have better chances of it failing because it's trying to find sales in a new audience that it wasn't targeting before. So the correct solution if something is failing is to lower your budget in order to give less budget for the exact same audience that the Advantage Plus is targeting, so that it can try to optimize in this one but with less budget, because most probably the higher budget that it has, it doesn't help it and it's starting to lose ROAS because it cannot find the sales that it has to have. So it's a wrong idea to increase you're the first one that I have seen mentioning that. I don't know if Facebook is pushing any concept because it sounds like Facebook bullshit. But anyway, the correct approach is to lower the budget in order to let it spend in the same audience that it's working, less money so that it can stabilize to higher ROAS. And then we go for you say also that you want to test my method of actually duplicating the campaign again, take out the ones that are working in the initial campaign and run it with the rest. Just to remind you that you need more than 25-30 creatives for that way of doing it. Also, you have the crazy method of Advantage Plus, which is duplicating the same ad that is working your leading ad several times. Is there any point to turning off a declining Advantage Plus campaign in order to let it rest? And is it even possible to turn it back on after a couple of weeks? Or will it never pick up stream again? So, if something is not having good results in the last 7 days, you just close it, okay? There's nothing to do about it. But, as I said several times for a lot of things, whenever something is working and it stops working for a period because a lot of optimization, because your pixel is new, it doesn't matter. Because you have a bad month period, okay. In this case, let me tell you that most of the times when you're going to relaunch it, you're going to have some decent results. Maybe it's going to be revitalized for a very long period, maybe for a small period, but still something that was working. When you relaunch it, duplicate it, and launch it, and by that relaunch, I mean that you duplicate it and you start it the next day at 6 a.m., okay? It's going to work. There is no point for you to close something and then just go and open it. It doesn't make any sense because the optimization window that you have is 7 days. So the data is going to stay there for 7 days in order to use them and find more sales. I truly believe that you should not even close it for 1 or 2 days, like what we said earlier about the weekends. But here, what I want you to understand is that if something it was working in the past, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So in that case, I wouldn't close it so that it can rest. There is no such thing. I would just close it, turn it off, duplicate it, run it all over again, optimize it all over again, finding new hot pockets with my spend, and run it for as long as I can. And then if it does again, I would relaunch it again and so on. And I'm not saying, because you're asking, will it never pick up Steam again? You might turn it on after 2-3 weeks and might start getting sales. This doesn't mean that it's the best possible way. The best possible way is to relaunch it. Because if we think of it in a technical level, the only reason for you to reopen something, if you want, which I don't do it still, I'm telling you that I just relaunch campaigns, is if you close it, for example, for 3 days, your attribution window, your attribution setting in the ad set level is on 7 days. So you say, okay, at least I have 4 days of data, so let me open it so that it can use this 4 days data. If you leave it for 3, 4, 5 weeks, there's no point of turning it on because it's going to start from the beginning. Okay, start with a new campaign ID, then duplicate it and start the optimization all over again. Now, let's go to the next one, active digital marketing. I'm trying to advertise tea in Australia right now, and the CPC is ridiculous, right? 9 to 17 in many cases. That's huge. We did get some conversions for the small amount of clicks we are getting. We're switching creatives, but CPC is still too high. What are your thoughts? I created a video, I believe, again yesterday. I have a new client. It's a startup. It's an acne product. And the problem with acne is that I have seen it working very well with trained pixels, but it's very difficult to train the pixel because always the acne clients, they are just a sub niche within a lot of different big niches like La Roche-Posay, Avène, or other skincare brands. The problem here is that you're going to have a lot of failures until you try to train it. The thing is that you need to constantly try creatives all the time until you see some improvement. And the other thing is that you need to constantly try different targetings. And when something is working and you are having sales, at least solve this problem so that you will know that all the creatives that you will test from that point and later, you're going to be testing them in an interest that is working and you're going to focus on the creative side. And you have crazy method for that. Because if you run a CBO with a lot of different interests in assets and stuff, then you can take one combination or just one interest that you have seen that is working very well, run it with crazy method to have different hot pockets, and you're going to be sure that it's going to be serving well your different creatives, and then test a lot of different creatives in order to try to improve the cost this time. But in order for you to do that, you need to establish one specific set of interests, one interest, maybe reach to the point that you can use lookalikes and stack lookalikes and do that so that you can be sure that you are going to have the best possible audience that is going to be tested again against the creatives. Your creatives are going to be tested against this audience. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now, let's go to the next one. Hello, sorry to bother you again. I have a limit of 250 ads on my ads account, so I need to reach 100k spent in 30 days to unblock this. Currently, I spend 2k daily for scaling. Your crazy method CBO is really working well, but this cost me a lot of creatives. I have 5 ads by adset, and my CPA is around 18 euros. So if I want a $30 euros daily spend, CBO need, okay, he does calculation, 85 ads. To struggle this, I think to scale with Advantage Plus. What's your advice in this case? Advantage Plus is a very nice tool. Of course, in new ad accounts, I don't know if your ad account is new. The problem is that, first of all, you have a limit, which is going to be also met with Advantage Plus if you use a lot of creatives. Also, you have only 5 ads, which is problematic for Advantage Plus. You need to put more. And another thing is that it's broad targeting. So if you want to target only women or men, especially with new pixels, it's going to be problematic at the start. It doesn't mean that you should not test it. The other thing that I want to say here, though, is that you have dynamic creative ads, which you can use with CBO campaigns instead of using 5 different ads. And they're working also very well. I think I have a video which is explaining that it's called the ads that are going to beat your ads, something like that. It's one of my first videos. And I think that this is going to help you a lot to test a lot of creatives because you can test 10 creatives, 5 copies and 5 descriptions. And yes, I think that this is your solution along with Advanced Plus. If Advanced Plus is not working well because it's a new pixel and broad targeting cannot be supported yet, go to CBO and work with dynamic creative ads if you want to do more and crazy method, of course. To be honest with you, you have 100k spent. Okay, it's not a lot. You can use a crazy method and stuff. It's going to be fine. I don't think with 250 ads you have a problem of doing. Anyway, Advanced Plus though, for a spend of 100k spent per month, I think it's ideal and it can help you a lot. Last question. Hi there. Let's say I have sales from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. mostly. Should I run a schedule on my new sales campaign for this time? Because I have seen that my sales came mostly in this time period. We have answered this one extensively. Sorry for not putting it at the right point. But as I said, first of all, whatever it works, okay? If it's working, keep doing it. It doesn't matter what Konstantinos or whoever you are seeing it's telling. The other thing is that I don't believe in that. I believe that the more the time passes by, the more the campaigns optimize and have sales during the whole day. Maybe on Sunday you will have a sale between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Maybe on Monday you will have also a sale which is coming on 12 and 1 on 1 o'clock. I have never seen consistently a campaign which is running for 2-3 months to have all the sales in specific hours of the day. The majority, yes, but some sales some days come randomly another time and another time. So I don't think that you should put it in a schedule. I think that you should let it run like this and it's going to optimize on its own. And based on what we said about weekends and stuff, I don't believe in this kind of stuff. But as I said, whatever it works, if it's working for you, keep doing it. Don't listen to Konstantinos or to anyone. Now, let's go to Freelancer Diaries and then we can close the video. Sorry if this podcast is a little bit more, in other words, I have to tell you that I'm a little bit exhausted right now. I had a very difficult day of doing some stuff. And if it was a boring podcast, I would like to apologize for that. Please bear with me. Let's go to the Freelancer Diaries. We have Facebook Marketplace Ads Expert Wanted. Looking for Facebook Marketplace Expert. I own a local furniture store. I want to advertise on Facebook Marketplace and get more sales. Only applying if you can guarantee sales. If not, please don't apply. Willing to pay $200 per month to run the ads and more if you drive more results. I would like to rephrase this one, and I'm not going to comment it a lot. Only apply if you are very good at lying and you can convince me that you can guarantee sales. Because this is what this person is asking. It's asking for somebody who is going to be very good at tricking him and convincing him that he's going to guarantee sales. It's not about somebody guaranteeing sales because nobody cannot guarantee any sales. It's about the money that you are going to lose for someone who is going to tell you that I'm going to guarantee you sales, I don't want to get paid, and I will run the ads. If somebody doesn't want to get paid, it means that he's not good and he wants to use your money in order to learn Facebook ads, okay? And these are things that you need to understand on your own, and not a guy from Greece named Konstantinos should come here and tell you those. So I think that if you rephrase it in a way of saying that only apply if you are a good liar and you can convince me that you can guarantee sales, I think that it would be the best Upwork job post that I would have ever seen in the past years. Guys, that's all I had for you. I hope that you like the podcast. Even I'm sorry, if it's not a good podcast and the content is not good, I'm really sorry. I'm trying my best here to keep up with the content, and I will try to do a podcast the next week despite the Easter. If you don't see it, we will do another one. the in 2 weeks, which means that most probably is going to be a question podcast because I will have gathered a lot of your questions on that period. And I will see you, I hope, next week or the other week. Have a nice day. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News Podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.